Hey, what's up guys? It's Diego here with another 4th generation OU battle. I'm using the same team that I used on my previous video, but this time I fixed the rotom form that I wanted to actually use. So let's go straight with the match. We are both going to set up hazards on the first turn. My opponent the stealth rocks. I'm going to go for the toxic spikes and then switch out into Donphan to try to spin those rocks, as my opponent's also going to switch out, reveal a Toxicroak, which is going to absorb the toxic spikes, so well, the toxic spikes won't be useful in this game for me unless I can get rid of that Toxicroak early. But yeah, anyway, my opponent went for the Cresselia then, as I went with the knockoff, expecting a ghost type to spin block. But yeah, the Cresselia went in, then I managed to get the rapid spin as my opponent went with the ice beam, which did a lot, so then I switched to Tyranitar, which is a choice card Tyranitar, and unfortunately my opponent expected a switch there, went for a T-Wave, and that's going to cripple the T-Tar a lot, because yeah, this T-Tar needs the speed to be a threat. So yeah, now my opponent is going to reveal Scizor. I'm going to switch out, send the Gyarados to intimidate this Scizor, which is going to obviously go for the U-turn. This is going to reveal some useful information because I will see that the Scizor has the life orb, and then my opponent is going to reveal a Starmie. I need to switch out from here because Starmie threatens Gyarados with a T-Bolt, which I think it's a one-hit KO because of the 4x weakness. So I'm going to send my special wall, the Clefable, which will take the Thunderbolt pretty well. And yeah, now I'm just going to go for Seismic Toast, I believe, as my opponent is going to switch out, send the Toxicroak. No, sorry, I didn't go for Seismic Toast. I took this opportunity to stop my own rocks, as Toxicroak gets back in. Now I need to switch out because in this gen, Clefable is normal type and cannot take fighting type moves from that Toxicroak. But my opponent is going to do a double switch. Very good prediction there. Go for the Starmie. So now that I have Donphan here, I'm going to scout with Protect, get some lefties recovery, as my opponent showed the Surf, but now I'm expecting him to change moves into Rapid Spin, so now on this turn I'm going to send my Rotom, get the Spin block, which is great, and now I'm just going to go for the Shadow Ball. My Rotom is Choice Scarf, so it's safe to stay into the Starmie, but my opponent is going to switch out to reveal a Heatran, which is going to get a critical hit and special drop from Shadow Ball, which is pretty unfortunate for my opponent, but I think that in the long run it didn't matter too much. But yeah, I'm not seeing lefties on this Heatran, so I'm assuming it's a Scarf set, so I'm going to go with Clefable again, as he shows Hidden Power. I'm not sure which type of Hidden Power that was. But yeah, anyway, my opponent's now going to switch out, as I'm going to go with a knockoff, get rid of the Black Slash of that Toxicroak, which is great because now that the Sand is active, it's going to be chipping this Toxicroak every turn. So yeah, anyway, now I'm going to switch into my physical wall again, the Donphan, which unfortunately is going to get a critical hit from that Cross Chop. So that's going to do a lot of damage to Donphan. I will have to go for a Protect here to get some chip recovery from the lefties, as my opponent is going to reveal Ice Punch, which at that range is obviously a KO. So now on this turn I'm going to switch out, send the Gyarados back again, intimidate this Toxicroak. That will go for the Ice Punch, but Gyarados can take that pretty well. Now I can threaten this Toxicroak with an Earthquake, because it can absorb my water moves, but Earthquake is probably a KO. Acknowledging that, my opponent is going to switch out, send back the Starmie, which is going to take a huge chunk from that Earthquake. It did more than I expected. So yeah, But yeah, Storm is still a threat to Gyarados, so I'm going to switch back into the Clefable once again, as my opponent is going to reveal their recover, get some health back, but Clefable can stay all day into this Starmie, which is going to take this opportunity to go for the Rapid Spin, get rid of my Stealth Rock, but that's no trouble for me because my Stealth Rock setter is right here and can take hits all day from Starmie, so I can just stay as much as I want here, go for my rocks again, as my opponent is going to send once again the Toxic Rogue. So yeah, now I have my rocks back again, my opponent is going to double switch again into the Starmie, but this time I switch into Rotom, which cannot speed with Scarf, so I'm just going to stay, go for the T-Bolt, as my opponent, realizing that, is going to switch into his Bronzong, which takes the Thunderbolt like nothing. This can be an annoying Pokemon to deal with because it's pretty bulky. So yeah, anyway, I went with my Donphan as he set up the rocks once again, but I'm just going to go for Rapid Spin. Unfortunately, my opponent is going to mix a Toxic here, which is going to be a big deal because that will allow my Donphan to keep staying on him and keep recovering with the lefties. I will be able to go for a knockoff, get rid of his lefties, which is great because it's helping it a lot to survive longer, since it's not chipped by the Sandstorm like other of my opponent's Pokemon. And yeah, as you are seeing here, I could recover a lot of health with these turns and with the Protect, thanks to that Toxic missing earlier. And that will allow me to go for another Rapid Spin, as my opponent finally will be able to poison my Donphan. Now that I'm poisoned, I'm going to switch out, send back the T-Tar, as my opponent went for the Stealth Rocks again. And since Bronze is too slow and my T-Tar has the Scarf, even being paralyzed, I'm going to be faster. Crunch is doing a good chunk, and now it's going to be seen how valuable that knockoff was, because I think that with the lefty's recovery, this Bronzong could have been safe versus T-Tar, but after a second crunch it will go down thanks to that earlier knockoff. So yeah, huge defensive threat of my opponent down. Now he's going to send the Starmie. I'm just going to fodder this T-Tar because being paralyzed and this low, it's not too much that it can do. So yeah, with a Surf, the Starmie will take it out. But now I have a free switch into my Scarf Rotom, which can Revenge Kill. My opponent's going to preserve that Starmie for later, go with the Cresselia, which will take the Thunderbolt pretty well. It's a shame that I didn't go for the Shadow Ball in this turn. But yeah, that's no big deal because this Cresselia also had its lefties knocked off. And now I'm going to send the Clefable, which is a great target for my opponent's T-Wave, because in this generation, I'm not sure if it was on purpose or if it was a bug, but the Magic Guard ability made it that you can never get fully paralyzed. You get the speed drop from paralysis, but you can never get fully paralyzed. But yeah, anyway, my opponent's going to switch out. I'm going to get a misclick on this turn, which is pretty unfortunate. I wanted to go for the Seismic Toes, and instead I clicked their Stealth Rocks, which I already have up. That will allow my opponent to set up a Sword Dance for free, as I'm going to then get a Seismic Toes, but unfortunately now this Scizor is at +2 for free because of that misclick, and with a Bullet Punch it will one-hit KO the Clefable. If it weren't for that misclick, I could have taken him out because he wouldn't have got the time to set up the Sword Dance. But yeah, anyway, now I'm going to send my Gyarados, Intimidate, get it to +1 instead of +2. But yeah, another Bullet Punch is going to deal with my Gyarados as well. At least this Scizor is getting weakened by the Life Orb, and then I'm going to send Donphan, which is going to take another Bullet Punch, but with the damage from the +1 Bullet Punch and the poison damage, it will go down. So yeah, no, not go down, but it's going to be chipped a lot. So yeah, that Scizor did a lot to my team, unfortunately, and now the Donphan will finally go down to this Ice Punch. So yeah, a huge hole on my team done by that Scizor. But now I can send my Roserade. I'm expecting a switch into his Heatran, but this Roserade has a little surprise for it, because it has the Hidden Power Ground, which is 4 times super effective, and that's going to easily knock out that Heatran at that range. And now my opponent has only the Cresselia and the Toxicroak left. Cresselia is pretty low and is slower than my Roserade, so with a Leaf Storm I will easily take it down. Get a -2 on my special attack, but now the last one from my opponent is the Toxicroak, which is also a bit weakened, and I have the Hidden Power Ground to hit it for super effective damage. It will survive with a little HP and retaliate with an Ice Punch, which is going to knock out my Roserade, but I still have some Pokémons in the back, and the Sandstorm will finish off this Toxicroak and give me the game. So, good game, Futko. I think it was a really good match. I had a lot of fun. I finally could use the Rotom hit form that I wanted to use, which did a lot in this game for me. So I'm pretty happy with that and with the team that I used on these last 2 matches. So yeah, anyway, this is going to be it for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and we are seeing next time. Peace.